Hello everyone! Now, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out a couple of weeks ago, and it got me thinking, what if there were more games for the Switch or whatever that, well, it was the same concept as Smash Bros., but with different genres? Let me explain. See, ever since Brawl, or Smash Bros. Brawl, there have been third-party characters in Smash Bros., which is awesome. I love to see that, because you never know who will get added next. It's always a surprise, basically. But let's go back to the first game, when it was strictly Nintendo characters. I mean, Melee was too, but I'm trying to go back to where it all began. So you have these Nintendo characters or IPs from all these different genres, like platformers, racing games, JRPGs, and so on, suddenly all thrown together into a fighting game. I mean, some people speculate that Smash Bros. Isn't a fighting game, but okay, so what would you call it? But anyway, what if they took this same concept and made other games, like I said, with different genres? A couple of ideas that I have. The first one, I've talked about this before, and so have a number of other people, so it is very possible that this could happen. A racing game like Mario Kart, but let's take Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then you subtract about 10 or 15 of the Mario characters, maybe a little more, and replace them with, like, Kirby, Fox McCloud, Samus, Captain Falcon. And then you take about maybe 20 of the Mario levels out and replace them with, levels from, like, Metroid and Kirby and so on. And then you could replace some of the weapons as well. Like, the red shell could basically be like a missile from, whatchamacallit, Metroid or something like that, and then the bomb could be replaced with a Nova Bomb from Star Fox. Just a couple of ideas, and then maybe each character could have, like, a special weapon, like in Mario Kart Double Dash, they could each have their own unique weapon. I mean, imagine a Pokeball in a Mario Kart type game. That would be amazing. That's just a couple of ideas. The next one I have is, I'm not a huge fan of sports games, even sports in general, which is probably why I'm not too big into sports games. Every now and then I'll play them, but what if there was a game, like, because they've already done, like, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, and Mario Baseball, and Stalker. Why not make more of those? And why stop with Mario? They could have something like Wii Sports, basically, but instead of using Mii's, you'd use all the different Nintendo IPs, and obviously you'd have, more than just, like, 5 or whatever games, but, because I never played Wii Sports, the other one, the one that had, like, more games, the Resort or whatever it was called, but you could have, like, more than just the, tennis and golf and baseball. You could have, like, hockey and what other football, soccer, etc. Where was I? And, that might be a motion controls game. It might not be. It's hard to say, but I don't know. Either way, I would probably get it if that happened. The next one I have is a puzzle game. Now, I like puzzle games, and puzzles in general, but it would be something like, maybe like Tetris Attack, or like Puzzle Fighter, like something where, it's not just like, you stack up the puzzle pieces to try and get points and, like, hinder your opponent and such, or try and get a higher score than your opponent or whatever. And, again, you could have, like, all the different Nintendo IPs, and maybe each of them could have, like, a special ability, like Kirby could maybe suck in some of the blocks on his side of the field, or the Inklings could shoot ink onto their opponent's screen, temporarily hindering them and making it harder to see what they're doing. Now, the next idea is something I would love to see. Imagine a beat-em-up game. Beat-em-ups are my favorite video game genre. And that was actually one of the things I loved about Brawl, was the Subspace Emissary. I think I played that more than the rest of the game itself, so that the Subspace Emissary was pretty much like a beat 'em up, you know, like a side-scrolling beat 'em up with all the different Nintendo IPs and such. Well, yeah, well, not all of them, but you know. Imagine if there was a game like that as a game in itself, or if it was like a, you know, it could be a 3D type beat 'em up game, like the kind we've seen since the 5th and 6th gen, basically. Something like that would be absolutely amazing. I would shit my pants if that happened. Sorry if that sounded disgusting, but I would love to see a game like that, like a beat 'em up with all the different Nintendo IPs as its own game, not just like as a story or something, but like that would be friggin' amazing. And my last idea is a JRPG. Imagine that, like a JRPG, something like, say, Final Fantasy VI, which had 12 characters, well, 14 if you count Umaro and Gogo. So they could do something like that, like a JRPG, maybe like a similar story to, what was that game called? Something similar to the Subspace Emissary or something like that, but, and you could have, you know, like all the different IPs with special abilities. It would be like, what's that game called? Super Mario RPG, except instead of just Mario and then like, you know, some characters they made up for the game like Gino and Mallow. In this case it would be probably like 2 or 3 times as many characters, but they're all Nintendo IPs, and then they just, well, it's a JRPG, what else can I say? That would be amazing if they made a game like that. So yeah, that's just some of my ideas for what they could do for make other games like Smash Brothers. Like, I know I sound like a broken record, make it the same concept with different genres. Nintendo really should do something like that. Not that they will, but it's just throwing the idea out there, or ideas. So that being said, if you plan on getting the Switch, or you already have it, make sure you pick up Smash Bros. Ultimate, because it's an amazing game. But as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Kirby!